Okay, we're back, concluding doing the second half of the best of Pixar. So let's start off with number 9, and this might surprise some of you, and that is The Incredibles. 9 through 1, all of the movies are good. It just that I just had to make that decision that 9 is going to be The Incredibles. I really like it. I like the superhero feeling of it. The what it shows about families and how they go to learn about each other when they on this journey. And Brad Bird did a really nice job. I think he's one of the most talented directors at Pixar. He made Mission Impossible, which was a really good movie. I don't really have a lot to say about it because it's definitely not my favorite, but I would watch it again. It's got some pretty thrilling action, and I can't wait for the sequel that comes out next year. Okay, number 8 is going to be Ratatouille. I'd say this is a pretty underrated movie. It's actually really interesting. It's got really cool characters. I mean, it's got one of the best, I guess, villains, and that's the critic. And to show that this dark, scary, and very negative guy, and how you can see him kind of like be more happy and show why he became that way and his connection with eating ratatouille. But I like how rats can cook. I think that's really funny. And Brad Bird did a nice job writing and directing this. It's one of Pixar's best, and people just really overlook it. I was with my mom last night, and I said, Ratatouille is one of their best, and she's like, it's one of their worst. And I'm like, really? So yeah. Number 7, Up. Yeah, I really like Up. It's definitely not as good as some of the next ones in the list, but I like how it's just kind of like punches you in the heart at the beginning. How Carl Fredricksen's wife dies, and it just shows who he is and how he's just kind of given up on life. And when he goes to Paradise Falls with Russell and Doug, it's just really emotional. And I think when he gets there, he's like, "We did it, Ellie," and it's touching, and it shows you who Carl is and how he's looking to move forward. And I like how he's becoming kind of like a grandfather figure to Russell. It's really funny too. I like I think the bird's name is Kevin. Kevin's really funny, and Doug, and just all the dogs. It's really funny. It's really good. It's got great music from Michael Giacchino. It's a must see. It's classic. I think it was Pixar's first movie to be nominated for Best Picture. They had one other one nominated for Best Picture. I'll talk about that one later on. But yeah, Up. I love to watch it. It's a pretty good movie. Number 6 is Monsters, Inc. What a really funny, emotional, action-packed movie. When I was younger, you get your action, that end scene with all the doors. You cry at the end when Sully says goodbye to Boo. And you laugh when Mike Wazowski's on screen. It's the perfect combination of what a Pixar movie should be. And I think what Pixar used to be is it's like we got stuff for adults, we got stuff for kids, we got stuff for everybody in our movies. And Monsters, Inc. is a perfect example of monsters that are very human and share a lot of similarities with us. So Monsters, Inc. is definitely a must-watch. Number 5 is Toy Story 2. Yeah, I really like Toy Story 2. I think it's another underrated movie, especially in the Toy Stories. It's my least favorite of the Toy Stories, but at the same time, it's one of the more complex ones. It's actually the most complex one, because there is a scene in this where Jessie is upset that she was like abandoned by her owner. And that scene is not only it's emotional, but it's like what I said with the monsters, very human, and I'm sure people have been abandoned or hurt before. And what Jessie was feeling and how she has to move on, it just was very depressing. And how Woody is trying to comfort her and thinking about how he has to move on too without Andy, especially when they like wax off the name at the bottom of their shoes. It's really emotional, and I think it's overlooked as a Pixar movie because it's quite frankly really good. Number 4 is Finding Nemo. You just can't beat this one. It's funny. It's Ellen DeGeneres has shown us that she can be really entertaining in this. Not so much in Dory, I think, but in this one, man, she steals the show. I was laughing hysterically. It's like one you could watch it every single day of your life and it would never get old. The joke I hope some of them are improv because she's just cracking so many jokes and it's really funny. The story's good. I like when Nemo's in the fish tank with all the other fish and now they're scared about Darla's coming. But yeah, I really like Finding Nemo. It's one I like to watch a lot. Number 3, WALL-E. Now, I think WALL-E is so creative and so different from all the other Pixar movies that's why it's this high up on the list. That the first half hour, there's no dialogue. And it's just this, abandoned world. And hopefully not our future, but it might be. My dad hates this movie because he's like, everybody's up in space, sitting in chairs, just eating the whole time. And I said, but that's what makes it so good. It's because that's what we might be in the future. And that's the sad part. That we abandon Earth to go somewhere else just to, be unathletic and just eat the whole time. It's just really creative. It's really funny. And WALL-E is an amazing protagonist. WALL-E 2, I would definitely see that. Number 2 is Toy Story, the first one. Toy Story is what started it all, and even though the animation might not be as good, it still lives up to what it was. I like to watch it a lot. My favorite scene in it is when Buzz, whose house? It's Sid's house, and he's trying to fly, and he just falls on the ground and kind of falls apart. And that scene, I think Tim Allen did a really good job with that scene. It's just that Buzz, when he gets there, he's just full of himself, and then when he falls apart, he just realizes, I'm just a toy. But Woody makes him think, yeah, you are a toy. So I think that's really nice. Yeah, definitely Pixar with these themes and motifs and these messages and these really deep stories that you got to really look into. It's really cool, and I want to see Pixar do more of that, like what they did with Cars 3. That means number 1 is Toy Story 3, my favorite Pixar movie. I just think it's great. It's got everything I want to see in a Pixar movie. Given an A+. I think what makes it so great is the ending. I know some people don't like when the toys are about to die in the fire of the garbage place, but I think that scene's cool. It shows you that toys can be in peril too. And when Andy gives away the toys at the end, that's a really emotional scene. He's giving up. He's moving on. And hopefully Bonnie plays with them and does what Andy wants her to do. It's fun to revisit the characters, see what their lives are like. Yeah, it's got a great villain. Okay, what was it? I forgot the villain's name, but I think Ned Beatty played him. He was a cool character. Definitely shows that the toys were in trouble. It's funny when Buzz turns into Spanish. I love so much about this movie. I don't think there's anything I have wrong with it. It's perfect in every way. Very emotional too. Every single person I've met has said they have cried in Toy Story 3. So if you haven't cried in Toy Story 3, you're in the minority. But yeah, that's 18 Pixar movies. They have had a great go with the movies. What's upcoming in November, they have Coco coming out, or an original movie, which I'm hoping will be good. That's my prediction of what will win the Oscar. Next year, The Incredibles 2 comes out. I'm hoping that's going to be really cool, especially in this age of superheroes, what that can do to top all of those, because I feel like the superhero age is definitely going down recently. And then Toy Story 4 in 2019. I am really looking forward to that one. John Lasseter helming that. I want to see what they can do. So, yeah, that's my list. Toy Story 3 is my favorite. Cars 2 is my least favorite. But yeah, I'm your Kid Critic, Jack Mooney, and have a great day at the movies.